Hey, how bright is this thing? Okay guys, what's going on? I want to turn my light on, my awesome light. See my cool light? Remember I showed that in the last video? I want to show you something better. This is the light I showed in the video. That's like my extremely bright, nice new light. Look at this guy. This thing is something special. So I don't think I'm going to be able to use this when I'm actually pointing it at myself, but it might be nice for some shots because look how bright this thing is. I don't know if you can see that, but it's pretty bright as compared to this one. So it should really help, except it takes a bazillion batteries. I thought it was rechargeable, but I don't know how to read, so I usually miss stuff like that. What I'm gonna try to do is get the engine in. So I kind of skipped a little bit, got the trans mounted up to the engine, and I'm going to try to slide it in there, and I want to see where it goes, how far it sticks out, because everybody and their brother says that you can't use the factory drive shaft and trans mounting point, shift point. I don't know if I like that theory, so we're gonna try to do some stuff. So I'm just kind of trying to get this thing in. That's basically, I'm going to put it in the right spot, and then I'll lower it down a little bit. And my fabulous wife is my camera human today. This is weird. We don't have the kids right now. The kids are at the grandparents' house, getting all sugared up and weird. So we're gonna try to get this thing in for you guys, and then she's gonna make me buy her dinner or something like that. Oh, we actually got a lot of room here. We got a lot of womb. I'm gonna have to sneak under it a little bit and try to get. I want to try to get the drive shaft in the tail housing of the transmission and just see what happens. Ooh. Don't know what I put that on. A lot of you guys are always asking me like, oh, what does your wife think about you doing all this stuff? Well, this is what she thinks. She's out here recording me because I told her to. I gotta see where the drive shaft lines up. Definitely gonna have to pull it out. Have to pull it out again. It's way past. I guess it's past where the drive shaft is, but it's off to the side, so I don't think it's really in a bad spot. I just whole lot of rambling, guys. Ramble and mamble jamble. Fight my terrible engine hoist. And I did get an email back from Brett Collins today, from Collins Performance, on the design of the kit, I guess. Got it from him. You're supposed to, the design of the kit is supposed to use a custom length drive shaft. So you gotta redo a whole shit. So I don't think I'm gonna do that. I don't want to do that. Oh man. Are you having fun yet? Yeah.
Tons.
Huh?
Tons.
Tons? Oh! That sucked. Oh man. One of these days I'll teach you how to push that hoist in so I don't have to do this by myself.
I could if I wasn't holding the camera.
You could. Alright homies, so we had a little dead battery action going on here, but this is what it looks like pretty much mounted. It's just hanging by the hoist. So underneath, it's kind of hard to see, but we do have a little bit of clearance left. There's a power steering line back there, so I'm going to have to be careful when I build the pan. But this is probably as close as it's going to get to how it'll be when it's in there. So I am going to, against popular opinion, I'm going to keep the stock drive shaft and the stock transmission mount. I don't think that this thing is that far forward or too much farther forward. So this is the accessory drive, or where the accessory drive would be. This is the crank pulley for the truck. This is where the radiator support is here. I don't think it's really like eliminating too much room. I'm going to be going with the car accessory kit, so I'm going to get a different crank pulley and water pump, and everything will be about another inch or whatever it is farther back. So that should help. Building the oil pan. So the sump will be here, and I'm going to try to keep the sway bar in there and build it around the sway bar so I can keep that thing. So there is a whole bunch of extra room back here. The kits normally suck the engine quite a bit farther back into there. But what I see a lot, and what I don't like, is when people turbo these, there's nowhere to go with the exhaust. Because you have engine mounts, you have exhaust, you have whatever. So usually when people turbo these, they stuff the downpipe right out the side. There's nowhere to go with it. So eventually what I'd like to do in my brain, is this is what I'm thinking, is have the turbos mounted somewhere here, and then go up, over, and down and behind using that extra room and actually run a full exhaust. So that's kind of the idea, and I'm gonna try to make it work. So we're gonna get it running NA first, but I just wanted to show this kind of where it's at. And the funny part about this is I'm building all of the stuff. So I'm using the stock drive shaft, or gonna use the stock drive shaft, factory trans mount, and I'm gonna build the engine mounts, I'm gonna build the oil pan, and build the exhaust manifolds. But what's funny is these kits are so expensive, which depending on the person, you may not have the time or whatever to build the stuff. But I got the email from Brett Collins today saying you have to do a aftermarket custom length drive shaft, which is kind of expensive. But typically you're buying the engine mounts. So if you're spending $400 on the engine mounts and $700 on the oil pan, it's going to force you to spend $300 on the trans mount and $500 on the drive shaft instead of just making it work. So depends on the person. I guess I'm just an idiot and I'm going to try to figure it out. So that's the plan. Hopefully it works out. I think it looks pretty cool in there already, but I should be able to save quite a bit because I'm not going to have to spend that $500 on the drive shaft and several $100s on the trans mount, engine, oil pan, engine mounts, shit like that. So it might actually save, if you do the math on it, it might actually save, almost $2,000 just trying to do it this way and not caring about the couple inches farther forward that this is, because that's what I've been seeing a lot is you absolutely can't do it because you're going to lose so much performance and all this other garbage. And the engine is basically centered right over the front wheels. I guess I just would like to see some data on the performance loss. Like, what data or evidence do you have to show that you're losing that much performance that it justifies spending an extra $5,000 to get the damn thing in there?